Hey guys and gals, Never here from Checkmate Gaming, and me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with Let's Play episode of Cienie. As y'all can probably tell, I'm still sick. My voice sounds different again, so, yeah, so here we are. Hopefully I am getting better. My sore throat is gone, at least. So let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alright. I parked my car next to the church. The homeless shelter is situated within the compound, operated by the local church, funded by generous donors, and supported by local volunteers. Even so, the shelter is still overcrowded and lacks sufficient resources. The police's practice of rounding up and bringing homeless people here doesn't help. Taking my notebook and pen from the glove box, I step out. The police car parked nearby has a familiar number plate. It's Igor's. It seems they figured out that this place might be connected to Camille's case. Hopefully that prick Boris isn't around. Whatever, it should be fine. As I approach the entrance, I overhear a heated argument. Boris, Igor, and the local raccoon priest come into view. I instinctively dash for cover, hoping to overhear something interesting. I'd appreciate it if you gentlemen could stop intimidating and harassing the people living and working here. Father, we just wanted to ask them a few questions. I understand, but can't you stop going for our residents and volunteers? They've had it tough enough as it is. Seems like the priest is keeping it under control. I should keep my distance for now. This is a sanctuary for the less fortunate. Dragged here from the dirty streets like wild animals by you and your colleagues, I might add. It was for their own well-being, you know. Only the Lord knows the truth of your words, but I still kindly ask that you leave this house of God. Your presence has disturbed the peace in this place, and I can't have that. Listen, priest, we're here trying to do our job, and you're making it more difficult. So, are you going to arrest me, then? We won't hesitate to use force if you don't comply. Of course, Boris would jump straight to that. Igor puts his hand in between the priest and the boar. Boris, you're the one making things difficult. Fine. Play it safe, little dog. We're never going to solve anything with you being a pushover like this. That's enough! As I lean out of cover, to get a better look, Boris glances my way. The boar scoffs when he sees me. I wave at him, smirking. I'm in no rush to be seen by the others, though it might be better if the priest doesn't associate me with these two at this point. I'm sorry about my partner, Father. I hope you can forgive him. I haven't taken it personally, my son. I understand that things can get heated in your line of work. The priest bows his head and walks back into the building, while Igor stands there pulling out a smoke. With the priest gone, I approach the cops. A tough day? What are you doing, skulking around like that? I decide to ignore his warm welcome and focus on Igor. You could say that. Well, for him. What happened to your face? It's nothing. Alright, be careful when you trim your fur next time. Ha ha. Igor winks at me, pulling out a cigarette from the pack. Second, I'm taking it a little slow. Yeah, one second, I'm gonna clear my nose real quick. Okay. I assume you're here for your own investigation. He offers me one. I take it. He lifts both his and mine. Or to meddle with ours again. I haven't decided yet. Well, the priest wasn't helpful at all. I heard. So what did you manage to get out of him? We mostly confirmed that what old Bernard told us. So you hit a wall? Sorta. Then again, maybe you can learn more than we did. I doubt the priest will be in the best mood now. Maybe if that old trash eater was more helpful, we wouldn't be having such a hard time. Well, you did make him very upset. He didn't leave us with much choice. There are a lot of eyes on your precinct. I'm sure God isn't all sunshine and rainbows either. That being said, he could have handled it much better. Huh, was she ever? But anyway, sorry, Marcus, I'm on a tight schedule today. Yeah, I get that. Before you go, though, how's Mrs. Novak? She just woke up today, actually. Boris was at the hospital making sure she's safe. I started asking her some questions, but she didn't respond to any. Instead, she kept asking where her son was. Their doctor came, and that was the end of it. Useless. We're not allowed to ask any further questions till the doctor clears her for questioning. It shouldn't be long. I'll tell you when that happens. Finally, the stupid investigation will move forward. Boris's eyes don't leave me for a second, inspecting me, almost like he's looking for something. Also, I'm sure you'd like to know that Agata put some rookie on the watch. Do I know him? I don't think so. Guy walks around like he's got a stick up his ass and won't shut up about rules. Boris spits on the ground in disgust. Great, I guess I'll meet him soon now that Mrs. Novak is stable. Keep me posted on her condition. Sure. I should ask Igor to check the plates Tom asked me to, and see if one of the witnesses is lying. But not with Boris around. I don't want him sticking his snout where it doesn't belong. Hey, how about a beer later today? Oh, what's the occasion? We haven't had a chance to talk outside of work in a while. Might be a good idea to catch up. Some beer right now would be a damn good change of pace. You weren't invited. Boris scoffs, taking out a cigarette of his own and lighting it. Sorry, can't today. I promised Irina I'd spend the evening with her. We really should go. How about tomorrow? Sure, should be doable. We'll talk it out later. Great. Igor walks to the nearest dustbin and snuffs out his cigarette before tossing it inside. Boris follows him to the police car. I take the last drag of my cigarette as I watch them drive away. With these two handled, it's time to talk to the priest. Hopefully Boris didn't mess things up so bad that the priest won't even talk to me. I find the raccoon talking to one of the volunteers in the lobby. The priest gives me an appraising look as I approach, still visibly upset from earlier. And who might you be? I'm a private detective. I was hoping you could spare a few minutes of your time. A detective? Sorry, this is not visiting hours. This music kind of reminds me of Banjo-Kazooie music. He gestures towards the exit and starts walking away. Brushing past the volunteer, I follow him. Well, I'm not here to just visit. I'm on a case and need to ask you a few questions. No, sorry. We've already dealt with the police harassing us and our volunteers. Damn it, I gotta butter him up or I won't learn anything. Oh, so that was what the commotion was about. Sorry that you had to go through that. It's a shame that our institutions have so little respect for people of faith. All too true, my child. Only God's commands are the true law we should follow. At least I hear there have been a lot of people attending weekly worship. Yes, it's been very promising. If only they were grateful enough to donate some money to our little church. Of course, donations are all that matter. One can only hope the funds are used for the shelter. The client I'm working for, Mrs. Novak, told me she's been attending your church regularly. Ah, Dorada Novak? Yes, that's her. I'm here to investigate her case. I see. He stops in his tracks, turning around to look at me with a frown. Sorry, Father, I assumed the police were here about the same case. I promise not to take up, I'll take up a lot of your time. I only have a few questions. She came to me for help when the cops didn't prove helpful. I can see that divulging that bit of information was the right call as the priest's expression softens a little. I suppose if that's the case, let's have this discussion in my office. Lead the way, please. The priest leads me into his office and takes a seat behind his desk. Mrs. Novak was one of the most dedicated members of our church. Given her financial situation, she couldn't offer much, but her contributions were always appreciated. I see. Well, like I mentioned, she hired me to find her missing son. A dreadful situation indeed. I've heard of the attack in the woods. Yes, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. The police are blaming her son, but something doesn't add up. Bless you for assisting her family. I cannot promise you much, Detective, no matter how much the police insist on the contrary. But I will do my best. Please, ask away. Thank you, Father. He smiles and clasps his hands together. I guess that's my cue. So you mentioned Mrs. Novak being a big supporter of the church. Does the church shelter receive donations from other sources? Mostly personal donations, like Mrs. Novak's funds and Mr. Buzek's food donations. Of course, Bernard did mention his bar gave extra food to the shelter once a month. Does your church receive any support from the local commune? Please, they've never lifted a finger to help us. Some of our biggest donors prefer to remain anonymous. I see. That's all right. Well, that's very humble of them, though I don't think that lead much matters much. Has Mrs. Novak ever spoken to you about her family? She's a very lonely old woman. She rarely mentions her husband. I know this, though. Her son meant the world to her. That's the feeling I got when she hired me. Alright. OJ done. Oh, it's left his fizzy water. Mrs. Novak mentioned that her son had changed. Did she ever open up to you about that? Not in detail, no. She always puts others first, so I wouldn't be surprised if she kept her worries to herself. She did mention that the police refused to help her find him, like you said. I hope you do right by her, Detective. Taking money from that poor woman would be a terrible shame. Didn't he just say she donates to the church? I guess the irony of that statement is lost on him. Indeed. Did you know her son? Did he ever attend church services with her? He didn't come to church often. I've only seen him once or twice, and I got the impression that he only came as a favor to his mother. It's like, I believe he struggled with his faith, but he did help around the shelter. He did? Did he talk to anyone in particular? Someone who might know more about him? No, not really. He kept to himself, though I remember he once came with a young sheep woman. Sadly, her name escapes me. Sheep? Could it be Daria? That would explain the way she acted when I spoke to her. Are you sure it was a sheep? Was her name Daria by any chance? Yes, that's right. I see. That's been a big help. I hope she won't get into trouble. Not unless you shared this information with the police as well. Damn it, what's that girl hiding? I only answered a few questions about Camille or his mother, with how rude they were. They were more interested in the food deliveries we've been receiving. From Gruby Nedsviz? The priest narrows his eyes at me. Yes. I suppose I should quit while I'm ahead. This information about a possible link to the waitress is already more than enough, and the priest doesn't seem to appreciate this new topic. I see. You've been a great help, Father. I won't keep you from your work any longer. I'm glad to hear it, my son. I will pray for the Lord's guidance in your investigation. I stand and extend my hand. We shake firmly. Thank you. If you remember anything else, would you mind giving me a call? I place my business card on the desk. Of course. I'll also ask around, though I won't allow you to do that yourself. These people are already under enough stress. I completely understand. I think that's a wise decision. I better get going. Ugh. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Alright, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. I love you all, and I shall see y'all in the next video. Keep me in your thoughts and prayers, y'all. Hope I get better soon. Anyway, bye-bye.